how do I calculate my macros? I might talk about, what types of foods are important for sleep or benefit sleep. And so that's on a more wide range where it's a big team talk kind of thing.
Yeah.
The education in season, on the other hand, is very informal. It might be in passing with an athlete. It might be out on the field during practice. It might be, hey, Allie, my stomach wasn't feeling the best this morning. Here's what I ate. All right, did you eat anything last night? Tell me about your symptoms. So a lot of it's just in that passing time where it's not in front of all 120 athletes. So you get a lot of different varieties of what we kind of provide on education.
How do you build that sort of trust with them when they can just approach you with any sort of question like that?
Yeah, trust is built in the off season too. And when I say we, it's the performance team, nutrition, athletic training, strength and conditioning, outside of their coaches, us in the weight room, we are with them almost 24/7. And we have to develop that bond with them. Now, you're not going to develop that bond with all 120 athletes. That's why there's so many of us down here helping guide them through this life in football. But you really have to sit in their shoes, go where they are. I'm not always in my office. Hey, come to my office. Let's chat. I'm going to meet them at the meal table. I'm going to go out to the weight room when they're stretching and just chat it up. I'm going to, try to catch them where they feel most comfortable, because that's when they're going to be most open to talking to me, especially about nutrition. Nutrition and food insecurity, stomach issues, gut health is not something that's easy for people to open up to, especially younger males. And so if I ask someone to come chat with me or come talk to me about some gut issues, they're not going to unless I meet them halfway and meet them where they're at. And so I feel like I've done a very good job of developing that trust with, almost everyone on our team, because they know that I'm not going to rat them out. I'm not going to, yell at them. I'm here to show positivity, and that food can have a super positive effect on their performance. And I think they know I'm here for that. And then I want to help them, not hurt them. I want them to be successful.
Yeah. I know Coach Max does this as well when he's recruiting and stuff, but what really fascinated me with the way you run your program was that you have like these one-to-one sessions with them at the very beginning, and you sort of just like for that first month or so during July, August, you sort of keep having and revisiting these meetings. What goes on in those meetings, and sort of how did you establish that?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the recruiting piece of that, because some of these guys we talked to in June and July. And so we know them, and they're going to be coming in January of this year. And so for them to meet us and then not talk until they come 6 months later, they're going to be like, oh, they just kind of forgot about me. They don't really care about me. We want them to know that they have our full trust, even when they're not physically in our building and we're not there on their phones every single day. And so that trust that we've been talking about, that actually starts at their recruiting process. Whether they're, a senior in high school or they're a junior and they're going to transfer in from another college. And so for us, like on game days in season, that's when they come, our recruits or our commits come. It's a great time for myself and Coach Mac to be like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Just a quick chat. Does not have to be anything nutrition or strength related. It's more of just building that we're here for you. We are so proud of you for, committing to us, committing to football. And their families are here too. And we build that with their families. And I think that's a huge part of it. If your family can trust that they're sending their son off to a new place, maybe far away, who knows, and they feel that they can trust you, I think that's huge. And so for me, when someone commits, I'm immediately texting them, messaging, making sure that they feel seen and heard from my aspect. if they need anything throughout their senior year. And then, we have guys coming this weekend. I'm going to make sure that I see them on the sideline and say, what's up? How you doing? Excited to see you in 2 months. Those types of things. That makes them feel welcome. And so their program is a little bit different because they're not in our building, right? So that's the great thing about our app. It's called Note Meal. That's what we use. And that's what I send to them right when they commit. Like, hey, do you want to get on a meal plan? Do you want any nutritional help right now? If so, here's this. Let's start here. If we want to talk or if we want to FaceTime, Zoom, once a month or something, see how you're doing, we can. Or we don't have to. It's up to you. I want this to be a positive relationship between you, me, and nutrition. So a lot of those guys, the lovely thing about it is I can see their progress in real time on our Note Meal app. And they can send progress photos of their meals. They can send in notes of how much they ate. And then that's how we communicate too. So it's never just a, hey, nice to meet you. I'll see you in 6 months. And then 6 months comes like, do I remember you or not?
Yeah. So that rapport is built through sort of the recruitment phase and then just constant keeping up to see how they're doing and how they're progressing through their essentially season to then build up to what program you have.
Absolutely. And I tell the recruits, even if we're not doing a full meal plan, us just communicating ever so often is having that relationship when you come in January versus us not having that previous connection. You are, as an athlete, going to go so much further in your football and in just general life because you've built those relationships, and now you're going to be a step above the other guys who did not try to build that relationship. They're not going to understand the ins and outs of how we work as a performance team versus if you know how our strength coach and the head dietitian work and what they ask of you, and you're already doing that a month or 2 months prior to you coming in, you're gonna be bigger, you're gonna be faster before you come in. You're gonna know what type of workouts we run, what the intensity is like. That's gonna set you apart, not just a relationship, but just adapting yourself into that for sure.
Yeah.